I told you, hidden deep within the clouds of the Andes lies a city built by an ancient civilization with no iron tools, no wheels, and no written language. Yet they constructed one of the greatest wonders the world has ever seen. And for over 400 years, no outsider even knew it existed. Welcome to the lost city of the Inca, Machu Picchu. But who were the people behind this marvel, and why did they disappear? Stay with me until the end, because the truth about the Inca will challenge everything you thought you knew about ancient civilizations. And hey, if ancient mysteries fascinate you, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. Long before Columbus set sail, long before Europeans even knew of South America, there was an empire that ruled above the clouds. There once stood a civilization high in the unforgiving Andes Mountains, so advanced, so resilient, that even modern engineers still marvel at what it accomplished. It wasn't Greece, it wasn't Rome, it was Tawantinsuyu, the ancient name of what we now call the Inca Empire. An empire stretching over 4,000 kilometers, across deadly valleys, icy peaks, and sun-scorched deserts, from present-day Colombia all the way down to Chile. They had no wheels, no writing system, no iron, no gunpowder, and yet they built roads longer than the mighty Romans. They governed more than 10 million people through a centralized administration so efficient, so tightly organized, that even the Spanish conquistadors, armed with steel, horses, and firepower, were left in awe. Their capital, Cusco, was more than a city. It was the navel of the world, the spiritual, political, and cosmic center in the Incan worldview. From Cusco, roads stretched like arteries across the continent, carrying the will of their divine rulers, the Sapa Inca, believed to be the direct descendants of the sun god. And yet, amid all their grandeur, among golden temples and armies tens of thousands strong, the Incas quietly built something that was never meant to appear on a map, a hidden city, nestled in the clouds, carved into cliffs so remote that only the gods were ever meant to find it. Machu Picchu, a city not built to be discovered, a silent message whispered to the future, a secret buried for centuries beneath the breath of the jungle. Some empires are not born from the earth, but from the sky. Before the world was mapped as we know it, before Europe even realized that South America existed, there stood a vast empire rising boldly among the clouds, clinging to the jagged cliffs of the Andes, reaching toward the heavens, a monument to the power of human will, or perhaps something greater. It was not Rome, it was not Egypt, it was not Greece. It was Tawantinsuyu, a sacred name passed through generations. Today, we know it by a simpler term, the Inca Empire. But this was not an empire forged by sword and blood alone. It was was woven from stone and sky, and a deep, unshakable belief in the harmony between mankind and the universe. From Colombia to the heart of Chile, over 4,000 kilometers, the Inca built a miraculous network that defied geography across deserts, through snow-covered mountains, beyond deadly valleys, all without wheels, without writing, without iron or advanced machines, and yet they constructed a road system that surpassed even that of ancient Rome. They ruled not through brute force, but with a national structure so precise, so organized, it functioned like a living machine. Even the Spanish conquistadors, who brought with them guns, fire, and war, were stunned by the discipline and order they encountered. At the center was Cusco, the capital, but it wasn't just a political hub. It was the heart of the world, the place where earth and sky converged, where the kings were believed to be the living embodiments of Inti, the sun god. And yet, amid all this power, among golden temples and armies that could shake mountains, the Inca quietly built something no one was ever meant to find. No records, no names, not a single mention in the chronicles of Spain. Only cloud, only stone, only mountain, wrapped tightly around a city hidden deep within sacred ground. Machu Picchu, not a city meant to be discovered, not a place for the living to dwell, but a message carved in silence meant for the future. A secret sealed beneath the breath of the jungle. A whisper from the past that we're only just beginning to hear. Machu Picchu is not just a city. It is a mystery carved into stone, left behind as a challenge from the past to the future. Perched nearly 2,500 meters above sea level, Machu Picchu floats between earth and sky, a place where nature, spirit, and human hands merge so perfectly, it feels almost suspicious. It shouldn't exist, and yet it does, standing like a silent defiance against modern logic. When American historian Hiram Bingham first set foot here in 1911, he believed he had discovered the lost city of the Inca. But what he didn't know, and perhaps never fully understood, was that what he found wasn't the end of a story. It was the entrance to one no one could finish telling. Machu Picchu wasn't a capital. It wasn't a fortress. There are no walls for defense, no scars of battle, no signs of military design. So, why build it in a place where every step is paid for with breath? Massive stone blocks weighing tons were fitted together with such precision you can't slide a blade between them. No mortar, no wheels, no pulleys, no blueprints. Some walls tilt subtly inward as if they knew, centuries in advance, that earthquakes would one day try to bring them down. All throughout the site, sacred water channels trace the outlines of the city, not merely for utility, but for ritual meaning. Windows, archways, and corridors aligned perfectly with solar solstices and celestial movements. Some stones were even sculpted to mirror the shape of the mountain peaks behind them, as if the Inca weren't just building structures, but performing a spiritual ritual in stone. So the question remains, who was this place for, and why? Perhaps royalty, perhaps priests, but maybe, just maybe, it was a soul observatory, a spiritual gate between the human world and the divine. The Inca left behind no books, no written maps. They left behind silence, and within that silence lies an energy that time itself has not dared to disturb. Machu Picchu does not speak, it breathes, and only those who are quiet enough can hear what history tried to forget. Not all empires fall with the clash of swords and the spilling of blood. Some civilizations ... fade like the last light of sunset, slipping quietly behind the mountains, unnoticed by the world. In the early 16th century, as the Inca Empire stood at the peak of its power, where every road, every ritual, every decree reflected a world of perfect order, something happened, something even their most revered priests could not foresee. White sails appeared on the horizon, ships from across the ocean. From them emerged not guests, but an ending cloaked in iron and disease. Gunpowder, war horses, plague, and greed. This was not war. This was a ruthless invasion, led by men who did not come to understand. They came to take. The Inca had never seen a firearm. They had never known smallpox, and what they least expected was betrayal from within their own bloodline. As civil war erupted between two royal brothers, Huáscar and Atahualpa, the Spanish exploited the fracture. They planted division, and once it spread, they uprooted the empire from its very core.
Francisco Pizarro, once a nameless soldier, invited Atahualpa to a meeting under the banner of peace.
And there, beneath the guise of diplomacy, the son of the sun was captured in a moment of calculated, cold deception. From that instant forward, the light of Tawantinsuyu began to flicker and fade. And yet, in the shadow of ruins, one place remained untouched: Machu Picchu. It was not burned, it was not looted, it was not recorded. The Spanish never even knew it existed, as if it had withdrawn itself from the world, just as the world became unworthy of it. Perhaps the last of the Inca sealed it away as a final prayer, a ritual to protect the sacred from the savagery of centuries to come. And so, Machu Picchu did not vanish. It simply folded itself into the fog, the forest, and the memory of the earth. Not a ruin, but a whisper, locked away, waiting for the day when humanity is ready to listen. Not just with the mind, but with the heart. Machu Picchu is not just a ruin, it is the visible tip of a secret still refusing to be revealed. To this day, what we know about Machu Picchu is just a fragment, a fallen piece from a much greater puzzle the Inca once carefully assembled. Archaeologists have excavated less than 1/3 of the entire site. Ground-penetrating radar has detected empty chambers beneath the main temple, possibly ceremonial rooms, or a royal tomb no human has ever entered. But that may only be the beginning, because what we haven't uncovered might be exactly what the Inca intended to hide. Not out of fear, but out of belief. They believed that secrets were not meant to be torn open. They were meant to be found only when the human spirit was still enough to understand. Perhaps Machu Picchu is speaking, but not with words, with the resonance of stone, of time, and of ancient memory. Echoes we have yet to learn how to hear. So let me ask you, was Machu Picchu just a city, or was it a message carved in stone waiting for you to read it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you believe. Was it a royal resort, a spiritual portal, or something far deeper?